We've started a case and documentation is in progress. The pane on the left shows your to-do list with actions and medications displayed in the order they'll likely be used. Of course, your sequence varies greatly based on your needs and unexpected events, so you don't need to address items in the order they appear. There are 3 options for addressing items in the list, indicated by icons near the bottom. Use Edit to make changes to documentation and include additional information. Execute adds an item to the record without additional detail, and Remove pulls it from the list. While you should edit most items before executing, some don't require additional documentation. Anesthesia start time, for example, just needs to be added to the record. To execute, make a selection and click the Execute icon, or simply double-click the item. An icon corresponding to Anesthesia start appears in the action bar. There are a few ways to modify executed actions. You can double-click the icon, or right-click it for a menu of options. Make changes or add comments and click OK when finished. To change the time an action was taken, click and drag the icon to the appropriate time. We'll edit the pre-induction assessment by selecting it and clicking the Edit icon. The Action Details window displays, and what you see here depends on the item you're editing. Make selections as needed. The pane on the right is used for documenting values or free text corresponding to the selected item. When finished, click Execute or OK. If you click OK, your documentation is saved and the item remains in the to-do list. You could execute the item at any time by double-clicking, or revisit your documentation by clicking Edit again. When ready, execute. Next, we'll document a medication by selecting it and clicking Edit. The Add Medication Administration window allows documentation of the concentration and dose of a given medication, as well as the route and site. If the patient's weight needs to be adjusted for weight-based doses, click the weight in the upper right. The patient's weight will carry over from nursing documentation, but can be changed here if necessary. Enter the dose you administered by typing or using the keypad, and specify other details as needed. When finished, click Execute. The dose appears near the top of the anesthesia record, above monitors and gases. Just as in the action bar, you could double-click the icon to modify your documentation. If an additional dose is needed, click the name of the medication or right-click the dose and select Add. For medications you know you'll use at some point in the case, execute them as soon as you'd like. They'll appear in the Medications section but without doses, which you can add whenever you're ready. Values from monitors display in the Monitor section. Click an existing value to correct it, or click a gray box to add a value. If there are items in the to-do list you know you won't use, remove them by making a selection and clicking the Remove icon. In practice, you'll continue to edit, execute, and remove items from the to-do list as necessary while your case proceeds.